Welcome to Giggles and Gays, a podcast where we talk about whatever we want to talk about. I'm Alan.
I'm Larry.
And I'm Jeff.
And we're gay.
Gay superheroes.
Gay.
That was a bad snap.
How's it going, everybody?
It snapped. It was good.
Any guesses as to what we're going to be talking about today? I mean, I'm not talking about you, because you two know what we're talking about today, but I'm just talking
But the
about,
imaginary audience. It's
talking
giving
about the
them a
imaginary
chance.
audience, you know, right there in front of us. We're going to be talking about Marvel.
Marvel.
Yes, the MCU. We're not talking about the comic book section. We're talking about the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
So, my favorite comic series right now. Oh, that's not what we're talking about?
No, go for it.
But I will introduce our man crush.
Wait, hold on. When I tell you you're going to introduce our Man Crush Monday, because I haven't gotten to that point yet. Oh my gosh, we do this every week. My phone just goes, did you have a heart attack? Did you fall? Are you okay? So, everyone, we have a very special man crush this week. Very, very special. And I'm going to relinquish the duties. And I'm going to send it over to Jeff to introduce our man crush this week. That also means that he has to post the picture on Instagram of the man crush. Go ahead, Jeff. Who's our man crush this week?
Am I allowed to now?
Yes, because it's come to that point of the episode.
It's Tom Holland. The beautiful Tom Holland. The amazing,
All of that build-up, and that's what I get.
beautiful, fantastic Tom Holland. Doing his umbrella dance.
My favorite video. Love it so much.
On Lip Sync Battle.
To be honest, that's
it
what
is
made me
Tom
like him.
Holland, Spider-Man. Disclaimer, there'll be a part in the episode later where I really wanted to put Spider-Man in it, but he is only 16 in the MCU, and it's not legal, and we couldn't do him. Literally couldn't do him. But
Yeah.
no, he's 16. But adult Peter Parker.
We should not say any. We're not talking about adult Peter Parker. Not talking about him.
It's on
not
the
talking about
it's
him.
on
He's
the
not
table.
in the MCU. He's not in the MCU. We're not talking about him. We're not talking about him. We're not talking about him.
He might be in the MCU.
Not yet. We're talking about MCU Phase 1, 2, and 3. That's all we're talking
We'll
about.
let you know in December if he's in the MCU.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But anyway,
you
it's
guys,
Tom
this is what I
Holland,
have to put up with.
because he's a
all the
beautiful
time.
man who is of age.
Yes, Tom Holland is of age, who I secretly think is, you know, in the closet.
Well, I'm going to England. See you guys later.
I mean, he,
I don't think he's in
he
England
was
right
Billy Elliot.
He's done a lot of things.
He's supposed to be the video game series Uncharted. He's supposed to be in all of those.
Yes, he's supposed to be Drake.
Yeah, Drake in the video game is pretty attractive. So I mean,
Tom Holland's attractive in general.
No, but I mean, like, he's going to do great because they look a lot alike.
Because he's a beautiful man.
This is why I don't let him introduce things like Man Crush Monday. This is why he gets frozen just like that.
I'm not frozen. I'm
Let it
not
go.
Elsa. Yeah, you need to let this go.
So
Larry, how do you feel about this beautiful man?
Honestly,
Okay, he's done. So, Alan, what do you think of this beautiful man?
he's a very attractive,
Beautiful
and
man.
handsome,
Beautiful man.
21-year-old.
I think he's older than 21 now.
Yeah, I think he's only 21.
I think he's like 22 now.
You're much older than him.
I am not as old as you are, so...
I'm also not calling him a beautiful man
He is a beautiful man, though. You call all the other ones beautiful men.
because they are men.
He is a man. If you're 21, you can drink, you're a man.
yeah, but in the UK you can drink when you're 18. You should know
So he's
this,
been a
Jeff.
man.
should know
So he's
that.
been a man.
Wouldn't that be weird? Anyways,
You know what's a shame?
what?
That he wasn't in the Phase 1 of the Marvel
I was
MCU.
not done talking about Tom Holland.
You're never done talking
This is
about
actually an
Tom
episode about Tom Holland.
Once again, friends, this is why we don't let Jeff introduce the Man Crush Monday. He can't get off of it.
My favorite movie in
So-
Phase 1 is Tom Holland.
Oh, God.
My least favorite is not Tom Holland.
Phase 1.
Talk about it, Larry.
So, Phase 1 of the MCU, it got started by Iron Man, And at the time, I don't think they were planning on doing anything more than just Iron Man and maybe a couple other superheroes. But it exploded into the Marvel Cinematic Universe that we know today.
Well, they were planning it in the end. The end of Iron Man leads into Thor. No, Iron Man 2 leads into Thor. Iron Man leads into the Avengers.
But originally, they did not think that Iron Man was going to work.
Wow, because
it
no
was-
superhero movie before that had worked.
Right, because the only ones that had
Batman.
that. Well, yeah, but there was Batman and there was.
I
the
know it's
X-Men.
DC. I know it's DC. You know how I feel about DC. But the original
You'll find out
Batman,
about that next week.
The original Batman was like good. Michael Keaton,
Yeah. Vulture?
Jack Nicholson.
But it was never enough to really kick off a franchise. It was
God,
always
no.
kind of thrown into blockbusters.
You know what my favorite Batman movie is? Batman and Forever.
I do love that movie.
Oh my god, I'm done with you. Let's continue with the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
What about Batman Forever?
I said that.
He just said that he loved that movie.
Oh wait,
You thought I said Batman and Robin?
yeah.
No, I said Batman Forever.
I still love that movie.
I'm done with you. All right.
I also like Batman Returns. Michelle Pfeiffer, come on. Gay icon. She's also wants to come back and be Catwoman. I'm so sorry.
And see, this is why we don't let him talk about Batman.
This is why when I don't introduce the Man Crush Monday, I get off on a tangent and I can't get back on.
I think you get off on tangents a lot without even with introducing it. Anyway, phase one.
one.
Barry,
So
take us
phase
away.
one,
Take
it
us away.
introduced some of the main components of the Avengers, including Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, Captain America, and characters who are, alongside them, who don't have their own movies yet. But what is your favorite film from the first phase?
Well, first, what makes up the phase one?
Oh, yeah,
of
you're
Marvel?
right. So it starts with Iron Man. It continues through those other superheroes in their first respective movies. And then Iron Man 2's in there, right?
Okay, so it goes Iron Man, Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor. They take place at the same time. Then it goes Captain America and the Avengers. Does that answer your question, Alan?
Yes. Thank you.
So it starts with Iron Man, culminates with the Avengers.
Yes.
What's your favorite film of this phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
I really like Thor.
Why do you really like Thor, babe?
Because Chris Hemsworth should have been our Man Crush Monday.
I had a different thought for a Man Crush Monday.
Who
but
was yours? Was yours?
we have to wait till phase 2, babe.
Well, hold
Have to
on.
wait till phase
Hold
2.
on. I volunteered. I only nominated him. And then you guys all were like, yeah, it's fine.
Yes, but we all agreed with you, so
Especially
that way we could
because-
come and tell you you're wrong.
And you did feel strongly about it.
I do like Thor, and I don't appreciate getting a bad look from Jeff.
Oh, the movie? Or are we
The
talking?
movie Thor, I didn't find anything wrong with Thor. I thought it was a good movie.
It was a very good setup for the character.
Yeah, it was a good origin of his character on Earth movie.
I thought so.
What about you, Jeff? What's your favorite of the phase one?
Captain America.
Why?
Why? Because he's my favorite hero. It's a good movie. It sets off how superheroes in this. I think it's what really wraps all of them together, because it at the end of it brings the Avengers idea to full throttle. It's tough. It's between Avengers and Captain America, because Avengers what really sets off the cinematic universe, because they're finally all together on screen, and it's going somewhere.
Yeah. Do you remember the moment in the movie where it was like,
Which movie?
no, do you remember in phase one? The moment in phase one where it's like, they're going to fucking do an Avengers
So and so
movie.
will return in the
Like, I just
Avengers.
remember the moment, and just you see Nick Fury and he says something about the Avengers Initiative. I just remember going,
That's the end of Iron Man.
yeah. Okay, so it's the end of Iron Man. You were completely right. The end of Iron Man 1.
Yes.
1. The end of Iron Man 1. I just remember just being like, because I knew about, at that point, I knew about the Avengers solely in comic book form. And then for them to bring, because for me, we're not going to talk about the comic books. Oh my God, if we talked about the comic book Avengers, they've had so many leaders, it's not even funny. And the first leader I remember was when they actually called back all of the Avengers, and there was a gajillion of them. And then when they did that point when Nick said that and he said the Avengers Initiative, I was just like, the fuck they gonna do? They're gonna bring back, and I just picture all of these like all of these characters in my head coming, oh my god, they're all coming back. And then of course, if you look in other movies, they didn't all come back. But
Yet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
now they own all the properties.
yeah, but they were like a crap ton. I just remember the book I read had like Wasp and She-Hulk and Miss Marvel, but not Captain Marvel. It was just a menagerie of like all Spider-Man was in the original like set of Avengers. But I just remember that coming back going, oh my god.
I agree because for me, my knowledge of Marvel is kind of Spider-Man, the animated series, X-Men, the animated series, and nothing else except for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So when they dropped the Avenger Initiative, it was like, wait, so they're going to get everybody? Because at the time I was like, cool, it's just Iron Man. Like, it's just an Iron Man movie. Neat. But
you had a different point
Well,
when you were like, holy shit, the Avengers.
I will say that when Iron Man came out, I wasn't a superhero guy.
Really? That's
I wasn't.
very
I
odd
didn't
to
read
hear.
comics. Wasn't that into superheroes. Didn't really. I liked them. I knew them. I liked some, but I didn't really care at all. Just wasn't me.
Really?
You wouldn't expect that now.
Not with how many comic books that you and I have read sitting next to each other when we were at work.
Yeah, you wouldn't. I only started reading comics 3 years ago,
wow.
but I've been fans of Marvel's superhero stuff and DC stuff too. But before that, I didn't really watch the shows. I didn't really do anything superhero until the MCU really started kicking off, which is weird.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
Well, they started putting superheroes in more of a
I'd seen
attainable, I guess.
I'd seen Fantastic Four. I'd seen other stuff, and I'd watch them. I'd go see them. I'd be like, "Oh, that's cool," but I didn't know who they were.
No.
Didn't really care. I knew who Iron Man was, and I thought it was weird when he revealed himself at the end of the movie, and he was like, "Oh, I'm Iron Man." I'm like, that doesn't seem like a superhero thing to do.
Right.
But he does do that in the comics. So.
Yeah,
he's very
That's the
much
thing in
like-
the comic books.
Yeah, so
Nothing
it
else.
was it was weird. And then I saw Hulk.
Ugh.
You know which one I'm talking about?
I know all of them.
Yeah, the Universal one.
Yeah.
The one where he's just a green thing jumping all over the place. Like, I'd seen superhero movies, but I wasn't into them.
Because they weren't good.
But my big moment was at the end of Captain America, where they had the montage that was officially showing all the Avengers. And it was like, coming next summer. And it was like, it's actually happening.
Right.
That was my holy fuck moment. And I saw it in IMAX too, so it was on a nice big screen.
No, I don't remember when I saw it.
Came out in 2011, so whatever. Oh, that was Avengers. 2010, so whatever you're doing in 2010.
Oh.
Oh, no, just kidding. It came out in 2011. Avengers came out in 2012.
Okay. That makes more sense in the mental timeline.
Much.
Did we?
We talked about. I said my favorite movie was Thor from the first phase, and I got this crazy look from Jeff.
I don't think you gave us your favorite.
I didn't.
No. But you love Captain America. It's got to be Captain America.
It is. But
Yes, Captain America's butt.
it's America's ass to
America's ass.
Skipping a couple phases there.
you. Honestly,
I'd skip as many phases to get to that ass as possible.
I mean, he was
okay?
a man crush.
True story.
so what I would say is before I watched Captain America, the first Avenger, I did not give a shit about Captain America. The only real like airtime I had seen was in Marvel vs. Capcom, and all of his sayings come off a bit douchey without knowing the character. He's like, America, this, that. And I was like, man, for being in a fighter with a shield, he sure doesn't use his shield at all. And then, so watching the movie, I was like, oh, it's the last Marvel movies were good. I'll watch this one. And watching the film, I'm like, no, he's a good guy. Oh, no, he's super cool. And then he fell into the ice, and I was like, no, he can't die yet.
He saw him come out of there half naked, and he was like, I'm in on this movie.
Wait, are you talking about Captain America or Fantastic Four?
Captain America.
Yeah, but he was half naked in Fantastic Four. Also.
No
was.
one remembers Fantastic. Well, apparently you remember that one scene from Fantastic Four.
Do you not remember that scene from Fantastic Four?
I try to forget those movies.
That was pre Captain America, Chris Evans.
Yeah, but Captain America, Chris Evans, ripped.
I kind of want to see. Okay, kind of want to see, Marvel take back Fantastic Four, but have Chris Evans play Captain America
And
the Torch, and then they'll have this like walk past each other moment. Hey, bro. Hey, how's it going? How's it going, sir? That's just what I want.
that would
what
be
you want?
funny.
Can you imagine?
That would be real funny.
Phase 1. Wow.
So, least favorite film and why? Go.
Iron Man 2.
I mean, yeah. It's the worst one out of them.
It's so bad.
It's
just-
the worst one out of them.
We skipped it and we didn't miss anything.
No, because there's nothing plot heavy in that movie, right?
Rhodey gets the armor? Does he get it in?
He gets it at the... Oh, so between 1 and 2, the roadies are different.
Yes, it goes to the current one.
Yeah, the one in 1, I think they do mention him getting an armor because he talks about the armor. I don't know if he actually did it.
No, he asks about one to Tony when they're in the basement looking at them. He's like, "Oh, do you got one for me?" And Tony was like, "No," or something like that. But I don't think he actually gets into it because he doesn't steal it till Iron Man 2 because he takes it during the party scene.
Yes. Yes, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Now...
Because he takes it and turns it into they turn it into Iron Patriot.
Yes, for publicity.
Yes.
So, big question. This is regarding Rhodey. Did you like first Rhodey or second Rhodey?
Second.
I like the first one.
I think the first one, I think we would have gotten a different idea of who he was if we had stuck with the first one. But I like Don Cheadle's intro.
Yeah.
I like what he did with it.
I liked the first one better. It's just like Harry Potter and the Dumbledores. I liked the first one better because I thought he was a perfect Rhodey. I did not like Don Cheadle's jokey, non-jokey Rhodey. I just didn't like
How
it.
he was like the not superhero.
Yes. But then he became a superhero. You know what I mean?
But he follows more of comic Rhodey nowadays.
So, nor current Rhodey, he is more of a current Rhodey.
Yeah.
But not old Rhodey. If that makes sense.
I don't know. I just feel like the first one's performance was forgettable. Like, and I like Iron Man, and I watch it, but I just don't care for his performance.
I feel in the first Iron Man, his performance, he was a breadcrumb. They were, hey, this guy exists, don't forget about him. And then, but that was only that because it was, hey, this is how Iron Man becomes Iron Man. And so he was there, but he wasn't.
I just feel like the actor didn't care.
I think he was just there for the money, but I liked him.
Well, he was not there for the money because they didn't give him enough money to come back.
Well, yeah, that's true.
That's why he didn't do it.
Yeah, he didn't get enough money to come back for the second one. I liked him.
He's probably kicking himself in the butt now.
Oh, can you imagine? He could have been like, that's what, 1, 2, 3, just 3 Iron Man movies. He was in how many Avenger movies?
All of them,
Both
right?
of them, right? Ultron and Avengers.
Is he in Ultron?
He has to be, even just briefly. I think he's in like one of the beginning fights.
Well, then he was in, let's just say he was in Civil War, and then he was in both of the Infinity movies. That's 8 movies right there.
That man missed out on a chance of being in the highest grossing film of all time.
Like, yes, I liked him. I know you liked the second one better, but like he's probably kicking his own ass right now. Going,
That's what I'm
"Holy
saying."
crap.
Man.
Like,
Oh.
and to have a major role, isn't he kind of going to be big in like phase 4 or 5, that kind of thing?
Well, he's the only Iron Man left. Spoiler
Yeah.
alert.
Yeah,
Spoiler
he's
alert.
carrying
Oh, sorry,
that legacy
guys.
right now.
We're still in the first one. So I feel like we've talked about the first phase pretty good. So let's go ahead and move on to phase 2.
Do you have a favorite moment in Phase 1?
Oh crap! You have a favorite moment? Did we even talk about our moments?
We technically both of us did.
Well, besides the moment when they had Avengers, do you have another moment?
In Phase 1?
Mine was when Thor takes off his shirt for the first time.
I like
was a
when
powerful
I
moment.
do like when he slams the glass down.
Yeah,
But that's not my
That
favorite
was
moment.
excellent. I'll have another.
that's a sad moment. I should have said that.
You know, probably when Iron Man comes out in the Iron Mark 1 and it just like the music swells, and he's like, and just kills everybody. That's cool.
Was that when he was still in the desert?
It's the very beginning of the movie.
Okay,
yeah.
they're calling him. Okay, I can't remember if they what they called that, but Mark 1 was.
Yeah,
what
that's
it
the
was.
Mark 1 armor because it's the first one he makes.
Why do they call it Mark? Where does that come from?
Maybe it was kind of like make one, but it was a fancy like, oh, Mark one.
Whatever.
We'll look that up.
What's your favorite moment?
When Captain America decides that even with his, like, the only weapon that he's been granted is this shitty, like, metal shield, that he was going to go rescue his friends because he felt it was the right thing to do. So him making the choice, it harkens back to the Spider-Man, like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, where it was the, with great power comes great responsibility.
Right.
And he knows he was given the serum for a specific reason. And he knows it's this great gift and that he's only technically a captain. And so he's like, no, you know what? I don't care about me. I need to go save them because I know I can. And he does. And that's what, like, just kicks off. Like, he was always a good character before that, but it was that choice of, do I jump on the grenade? Do I not? And he's the type of person to sacrifice himself for others. And so it was like, this is what a hero's about. And the rest of the film's really good too. But it was that moment where he decides, I'm going to go be a hero, like, for the purpose of doing good.
Right. Regardless, he was going to do good.
Yeah.
I also want to point out in Phase 1, I don't like Thor because it's a romantic comedy. That is my PSA.
It was a genre-breaking
It's a
film.
romantic comedy. It's
Maybe
not a
that's why I liked it.
It's not a superhero film. It's a romantic comedy. That's my PSA.
Did we talk about least favorite?
Yes.
We did.
We all agreed it was Iron Man 2.
We all ganged up on Iron Man
Me
2.
Because actually, the Incredible Hulk is actually pretty good.
I haven't seen it. I can't
He's
judge
not
it.
in any of the. They don't consider that any of the phases, though.
It is. It's in Phase 1. The Incredible Hulk. The Marvel Hulk one.
Okay, gotcha. I'm actually looking at phase 2 on my phone. That's why I'm.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm like, it's not in my list.
We didn't go to Phase 2 yet.
Well, speaking of phase 2, we're going to go ahead and move forward to phase 2. So phase 2 has. Oh, wait. Do we?
Yes,
we're
you're
just
right.
going forward. My bad. Phase 2 has Iron Man 3, Thor Dark World, Captain America Winter Soldier. I'm sorry, the Winter Soldier. Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers Age of Ultron, and Ant-Man. So, favorite phase 2 movie? Jeff.
It's tough. What do you think it is?
I would think Guardians, but I think you're going to pick Ant-Man.
I would think Winter Soldier, but you're going to pick Guardians of the Galaxy.
I'm going to pick Guardians, but I want to pick Ant-Man too.
I was close.
I love Ant-Man.
He is so perfect. Like, everyone did really good as their characters, but, like, if they're like, all right, you can only keep one person who is cast as their character, it would be... I honestly, I'd think it'd be him.
There's only a few things that I would change in Ant-Man. I like Paul Rudd. I'm sorry. It's perfect.
We're not changing Paul Rudd.
No. I'm just. I thought when we talked about Ant-Man, you said. I thought you were talking about Paul Rudd.
No,
Like,
he said there's only one person that couldn't, like, you had to keep one person. There's a couple people I'd keep in their roles too.
Oh.
There's a lot of Marvel people who are cast into their characters that are real good for their
Oh, they're
characters.
talking about the
all so
Wasp.
Huh?
Do you like the Wasp character?
I mean, she's fine.
Who would you take out of that movie?
Oh, now we're taking people out.
Oh, is that what? Am I
No,
confused?
He
It was
said yes.
my question was, if you could only keep
confused.
one actor out of anyone in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, keep one actor in their given role and switch literally everyone else, who would you keep? And I was saying that, like, right now my thought process was keep Paul Rudd as Ant-Man, everyone else can be someone different.
And then my thing was, I did because there's too many people that I wouldn't change. Like, Chris Pratt is Star-Lord. Like, I'm sorry, he is.
No, I agree.
He is born for that role. Like, there's just so many characters. Like, Chris Evans, he's Captain America. Like, when you think of Captain America, he has the look for it. He has everything for
Yeah,
it.
he...
Like, there's just certain people, like, Tom Hiddleston is Loki.
I wouldn't
like,
change anyone.
Like,
they're all so good.
Tom Holland, I know I talk about him a lot. Obviously, he's our man crush. But he is, like, when you think it's, like, a young Peter Parker, that's what I think Peter Parker would look
I
like.
did not like Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield. I did not think they fit the Peter Parker
I have theories about that.
mentality.
We'll get that.
Do you think Spider-Verse is that what you're thinking?
Well, Well, we'll get to that when we talk about.
But yeah, Tom
Spider-Man.
Holland is perfect. I wouldn't change anyone in the Marvel universe. I'm just saying.
Let's get to the. You see?
So I'm the Thanos in
When we
this
get to phase
situation.
3, we'll talk about Spider-Man's.
Oh wait,
Phase 3. So, actually, Phase 2. My bad.
You good?
you
So-
fine.
Whoa. So let's go ahead and talk about our favorite movie. We guessed yours.
Yes.
Should we guess Larry's?
It's not Iron Man 3.
No, it's not Iron Man 3. I'm gonna say. I actually really don't know this. We've
Have
never
you
had
seen all the
discussion.
movies in Phase 3?
We've seen all of them.
Yeah.
You didn't see Iron Man 2, so I'm just making sure you've seen all the movies
that-
in
the
Phase
only-
3.
Seen it, we just skipped it.
The only
on
MCU
one or two
films
things.
that I haven't seen are any variation of the Hulk, and I've seen Iron Man 2. I just don't care for
So
it.
the only movie you haven't seen is the Hulk, because there's only one Hulk movie.
Yeah,
Two
that's
Hulk
it.
movies.
There's only one.
Technically, there are two.
What's the second one?
No. They were remakes.
No, he's talking about in the MCU.
No, but I was just talking about Hulk in general.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
Because, you know.
didn't watch either of those.
they were.
Everyone kept saying they were garbage fires, and I was
Both of
like,
them were
The
garbage
Incredible Hulk.
fires.
If you haven't seen The Incredible Hulk, I'd recommend seeing The Incredible Hulk.
Garbage fire.
It's pretty good. Edward Norton's the Hulk.
Oh, he's a terrible Hulk. I'm sorry. I think he's a terrible.
I guess his new least favorite movie in Phase 1 is the Hulk.
No, there are worse movies than that.
Iron Man 2.
Yes.
But you should still watch the Hulk.
So, Guardians of the Galaxy is probably your favorite in Phase 2.
I want to say Guardians also. I don't know why I have this weird feeling of Age of Ultron, but it's not that.
"Do you want me to tell you?"
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it's Guardians. Guardians is my favorite in Phase 2 because it broke the mold from what they were trying to be. Because initially it was all, like, they were all kind of funny. Like, there were definitely funny moments in all the films. But this one, it blended comedy so well into the story and into the characters and into, like, what's happening that it all at once didn't feel like any of the other films. But then it had all of the superhero qualities that the other films had, so it really did still feel like it belonged.
I think it set the new feeling for the MCU.
Oh,
I think that's what.
Agreed.
Because the problem with some of the ones before it is they're too serious in themselves. Not like a DC movie serious.
Right.
But too serious in itself that the jokes are there, but they're kind of like, oh, let's try and relieve the comedy. Like Guardians is just like, I don't want to call it a joke, but it's like a joke. You know what I mean?
It never takes itself too seriously.
Yes.
And know what? If there was a different Star-Lord, the movie would have been completely different.
Oh,
It
absolutely.
would not be what it is.
It's still my theory that this is alternate universe Andy Dwyer.
Oh, completely.
Like in the Marvel universe, Andy Dwyer is a version of Star-Lord. Parks and Rec is just alternate Marvel universe.
It's
That's
just
it.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's if he never got taken by Yondu.
Exactly. See,
That's who he would grow up with. Are we going to try and guess mine?
Is it Guardians?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very simple. I love
I would have
Guardians
judged
of the
you if it was
Galaxy.
saying.
He and I saw it together. I think we saw it together.
we did because
2014.
yes.
We were together in
Yes.
2014.
Because I ended up seeing it more than you, but that was
Yeah.
because you were working when I was, like, there was a big outing.
Yes. I remember you telling me about it, and we went and saw it.
Yeah.
And then we went and bought the CD.
I have the album on my phone. Don't worry.
We
And no, I mean the CD.
For
Like the CD.
beat up
The thing that
Bronco.
is not around.
So for you kids that don't know what a
For you
CD
kids
is,
that- it's what precursed. Well, anything you listen to now. No, I love Guardians of the Galaxy. I thought everything was great. I thought I'm stupid, but the colors in the movie were beautiful.
It was so
I thought it was so
bright.
good. It was funny. The music was kicking. The music was a bop. Like
Oh, it was so good.
it was so good. There
was
was
different.
nothing wrong with the movie.
it was different, and I think that's what made it work so well.
Refreshing too.
Yes.
Especially after seeing all the dark DC movies, and then DC trying to take that formula and make it into DC movies. It just didn't work for them. But that's a whole nother day. Least favorite.
So
Oh, sorry.
One more DC thing before we go back to Marvel for the rest of the episode. Would you say Guardians of the Galaxy is to the MCU what Shazam is to the DCU?
No, I would say Ant-Man is.
Okay, that's fair. I'll accept that.
Okay, I'm in agreement with that.
I think Ant-Man is because
It's witty and funny and out there, but it's also not so far gone.
and Shazam does have serious aspects of it, and I think Ant-Man has more serious aspects. Yes, Guardians 2 has more serious stuff than Guardians 1.
Yeah.
But I think I would compare Ant-Man better to it because it's kind of the outcast hero.
Yeah.
Like they both have their own movies, but didn't really interact with anything that much just yet. Like
Right.
obviously Ant-Man has more. We haven't seen what the DCEU is doing with Shazam just yet.
The Q.
But
Apparently, like, what is it? Black Adam is going to be in it or something in the next one?
yeah, it's The Rock.
Yeah, it's right. But I mean, like,
I
that's
might
what's
have to
coming
watch
next.
some DC films now.
That's a Shazam thing.
Whoa.
That's a Shazam thing. But anyway,
Whoa, keep your shirt on.
we're going to
Least favorite.
Marvel.
Least
All right,
favorite.
let's guess.
Marvel
Let's guess
movie.
everybody's least favorite. Who wants to go first?
I need to bring up the list again.
Oh, okay.
All right, well then guess mine first. Oh, I'll
Okay.
bring up
Thor
the
Dark World.
Wow, that was aggressive.
Was that right?
I'm not. He didn't
Okay.
guess yet.
Just to be different, I'm gonna guess Age of Ultron.
Final answers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Iron Man 3. That is a garbage pile of a movie where he's just bopping around because he's having PTSD because he almost died in a wormhole in outer space. It has no relevant plot to the MCU at all except for him being so upset that it eventually leads him to doing the Accords in Civil War. So I guess it's a precursor to 3, but
Might I add into this? You and I disagree on this for the exact same reason we disagreed on Woody's characterization in Toy Story. Because this was all about character building to set up design. So I don't feel it didn't have importance, but I do agree it could have been a shorter film.
I said nothing in the movie important happened. I didn't say anything about his character development. I said nothing in that movie is relevant to anything else in the MCU.
Oh, hold on. I am pulling this out of my butt, but
At least you're not wrong.
that
trying.
he's created suits on purpose for people other than himself and government issued things. Because he made one specifically for Pepper.
But he did that in Iron Man 2 already. Because he had one made
Yeah,
for
but
Rhodey.
I forgot about Iron Man 2.
He had one made for Rhodey.
I don't think you took into account how little I watched.
There
that
is
film.
nothing relevant in Iron Man 3.
Okay, but
I'm sorry, there's one thing. His suit can come to him now.
yep.
That's it.
Also, if we didn't have Iron Man 3, where would the sad child be later in the
That's
films?
a Phase 3 thing.
Yeah.
Where no
would
one
he
knew
be?
who that kid was.
Where would that
when
child
he showed
be?
up on screen.
Yeah.
Took me a couple 30 seconds to figure out who he was, but
Yeah.
I figured it out. But
Yeah. Where would he be?
not relevant. It's not relevant to the MCU because he's never mentioned again.
No, but I would say though that it is important for his character arc because everyone else is just like they seem to kind of brush off this War of the Worlds, but for him it really is that's the thing that keeps him up at night. Where everyone else is just like I've got a lot of trauma already. I'll just throw this on the trauma wagon, and he's just that's his like thing.
I don't necessarily agree with that because I think Cap was dealing with things because Hydra was now
Fair.
more about it. I honestly, and if you think of Iron Man 3, it's boring. The villain's irrelevant. They did, what's his name?
Who was the villain in 3?
It's,
Capitalism.
no, it's,
Are you sure?
what the hell's his name?
Oh, is it the one where they put him in a house and...
Well, they tried to
pretends to-
use. I keep wanting to say the Mandalorian, but the Mandarin. The Mandarin. They tried. It was supposed to be They made it seem like it was going to be the Mandarin, who's actually the bad guy in an upcoming movie. They're doing the real one. They're doing the real one. But it was. What's his name?
The tycoon.
I'm looking it up.
The guy who. It was the guy who made the medicine, so he could.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
things.
I'm
the
looking-
Adrian?
with
Is his
the
name
weird hair.
Adrian?
Yeah.
He wanted Pepper.
I can't remember what the name of the organization's
I'm
called, though.
looking.
AIM?
Were they the sword people?
No.
His name was Aldrich
Aldrich
Killian.
Killian, who's in charge of AIM? Is it AIM? I wanna say it's
Evil Incorporated.
AIM? This is how much I don't care about this movie.
Okay, but did you like it more or less than Iron Man 2?
More.
Okay.
Because Iron Man 2 is garbage pile. I mean, this one's... they might be on the same level, honestly. I really don't like these movies.
Also, where would you rate Iron Man in your hero list? Is he like, oh man, I like him even though so-and-so's my favorite, or is he kind of near the bottom?
He'd be like mid-tier.
Fair.
He's mid-tier. Because there's nothing wrong with Iron Man. But also... I don't know. He's
You
mid-tier.
are right, it is AIM.
It's AIM. Okay, cool.
But what do those mean?
Uh,
Advanced Idea Mechanics.
yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
They did, their creative team was not very strong in that business.
That's in the comics.
No, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But if I were part of that firm and it was like they had a board meeting and they're like, crap, we don't have anything to call our business. Well, we're advanced. We deal with mechanics. How can we can make it spell AIM, right? Just put an I in there.
Yeah.
So your least favorite Iron Man 3 out of it.
Yeah.
What about you, babe? Oh, we got to guess.
Oh yeah, go ahead and guess for mine.
It's clearly not Iron Man 3 because it's very important to the development of the MCU.
Age of
apparently.
Ultron.
I don't like Age of Ultron. You don't like... It could be Thor. That's also a terrible movie. I'm going with Thor.
While there were so many parts of this film that I enjoyed, Thor Dark World is my least favorite in Phase 2.
May I ask what you enjoyed?
They started working on the dialogue. They made it funnier between the characters. Like their dialogue between Thor and Loki, like we didn't get to see a whole lot of that except for in his film, and even then it was still protagonist and antagonist. We got to see more of them on the same side for once, and we got to see more of that dialogue like progress.
I mean, Loki's the best character in that movie, besides the assistant girl.
She was hilarious. They introduced a lot of different ideas and they kind of expanded the Asgardian like mythos in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But I don't feel like everything they introduced in that film that I can remember didn't seem to have any big effect on anything else except for they were introduced to another stone, right?
The first stone. That's the first time the Infinity Stones are mentioned.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that.
So there is actual relative importance in that movie. That's the first time they're mentioned. Then they're explained in Guardians.
Right.
What they are. But the Reality Stone... The red
Power
one?
Stone?
Reality. No, Powers of Guardians.
Powers of
Reality.
Guardians.
The Reality Stone is the one that's in Thor.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Did you know there's two stones in the first Avengers movie?
Yeah, because it's the Tesseract and the staff.
Do you know which ones they are?
The space and the mind.
Yep.
Because the staff becomes fission.
We'll talk about the stones later. Spoiler alert. Oh, that's in the Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
My least favorite.
Ooh, your
what's
least
your-
favorite...
Winter Soldier.
Please don't let it be the Winter Soldier. I'm
I'm just throwing a guess out there.
gonna go Age of Ultron.
No, it's also Thor Dark World.
Third Dark one? Okay. Okay.
I don't like Jane as much as I feel like I should.
You mean the new Thor?
We are not talking about that right now.
You know what? I could actually see her doing that.
There's pictures. But anyways, yeah, I just don't like it. She does nothing for me in the movie. I think they should have killed her and kept Rene Russo, which is the mom. I also really adore Loki. Just saying.
Thor should have just gotten with a man.
I mean, Age of the Guardians are.
Age of Ultron as an Avengers movie was a letdown, though.
Yes.
Yeah, it introduced a lot of good things, but then it just didn't.
Didn't do anything.
It didn't.
I personally think they should not have killed off
Ultron?
the brother,
Quicksilver?
Quicksilver.
Oh my god, agreed.
I don't think they should have killed him off.
Pietro?
He was a very attractive character.
And he had such a fun power.
Yes, and him and I know it spurned Wanda into being Scarlet Witch, but I just don't think so. I
Right,
don't think
do-
they should
do
have
we-
taken it off.
Do we have to have all character advancement at the cost of another person?
Yes. Welcome to the MCU. Welcome to superhero
Welcome
movies.
to Disney.
Yeah. Yes, but
Now, do we have a favorite moment from any of those movies?
Ooh, okay. So, Guardians for
Okay.
me. There are so many moments in that film, but if I had to pick one large moment, it is near the end of the film after they crash and stuff, when he's like, I challenge you to a dance off.
yeah, the
And
dance
then-
battle's my favorite. Yeah.
because he's messing around and then like, oh, what are you doing? And then he takes the stone and like the music swells and it's purple and they're all glowing and their skin's starting to crack, but because they're together and because he's part not human.
Spoiler alert.
No, they tell in the film, they say, because you're part this.
Yeah.
They're able to sustain it, and then they just kill the sexy bad guy. And I mean,
He is, and he's gay, so I'm all for it.
right? Get it. But like
He was
that
pushing
whole
daisies.
he was. He was Thranduil in The Hobbit.
Yeah, but he was a dick in that.
Somehow I
was
knew
the
we were
dick
going
in
to
both
Lord
of
of the Rings
them.
all of a sudden.
Okay, so I didn't reflect on my Lord of the Rings liking until y'all ganged up on me about it. And I do like it. And so you are going to sit through a battle royale where I'm asking questions about Lord of the Rings and you're just going to not get any of
I'm
them.
going to go read all the books.
I'll just look him up online and
I'll just
find
listen
the
to it.
synopsises.
Well, I was just going to read the
Larry's reading
cliff,
Two Towers now.
the cliff notes.
I am.
I was just going to read the cliff notes.
Well, I'm sorry, Larry's listening to Two Towers now.
Hey, we're sorry. We interrupted your rant about Lord of the Rings.
Yes, it was. So anyway, he's Thranduil. What's his name? So Chris Pratt kills Thranduil. And anyway, so from the dance off to that scene, I felt like it encapsulates the feeling of the whole film really well because it's intense and it mentions like Chris Pratt's internal this is my trauma, but it's also serious and it's at the same time lighthearted and they all work together and it's just the whole film. That's my moment.
My favorite moment is when one of Thor's friends is played by Zachary Levi.
Yeah, they switched it from Prince
the
Charming.
only- that's honestly, that's all I can say. You guys already said that point, so that's what I got. And then he dies. Spoiler, sorry.
Oh, he does, doesn't
Yeah,
he?
and then Zachary Levi went into like this really bad depression because he never got cast as superheroes. And then Shazam.
Literally.
He was Shazam.
Jeff?
Oh, you already said it was the dance.
Mine was going to be I can pick another one.
I just picked all of our collective favorite.
Because it's the most icon. I think it's the most iconic thing that happened out of any of them
Out of any of that's phase.
Yeah, any
completely.
single moment in
Phase
those.
3. I mean, there's got to be something that I probably really like in The Winter Soldier,
Because like
but I can't think of it.
Yeah.
I do like the scene when he's running, and
Which one?
Cap when he's running with Sam, and
Oh,
he's
okay.
like
On your left.
on your left. 'Cause it goes back to, God, I'm gonna cry.
Goes back to you being faster than people and saying on your
No,
left.
it goes to the future.
When he's old.
No, he
Remember?
comes back.
On your left.
Yeah, when they all go-
So
We're not there yet.
To be fair, I don't remember much of the Winter Soldier.
It's a great movie. You should watch it. Bucky's in it.
No, I know that he's in it. I just don't remember.
You just remember Bucky.
I don't remember much. I think when we watched it, because we did the quarantine thing where you watch all the movies, that kind of thing. Might have been one of those movies I was just tired and I fell asleep.
Yeah, I think that's one of the films I didn't wake you up for.
Yeah.
Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
When I was rewatching it, it's when I was taking that medicine that always made me really tired because I was throwing up all the time.
Yeah.
I took one during it, and I fell asleep like when they're doing the bridge fight where Bucky's fighting when he first realizes it's Bucky.
Yeah.
They're on the bridge and stuff like that. I woke up at the credits. So I've seen The Winter Soldier
Right.
many times, but when I was rewatching that time, I fell asleep on the couch, like laying back, and I woke up and I was like, "Oh, it's over."
We know it's
because I
there.
rewatched all of them before Infinity War or Endgame. I think it was Endgame. I think I rewatched every single movie leading up to it, like in a month.
We just watched them during quarantine.
I probably talked to you about it. I think when I was rewatching all of them, because
Mm-hmm.
remember I was telling you the schedule, like I have to watch these 4 movies this day, these 3 this day.
Yeah, because then I was telling you that we were just doing the machete order. Did we just?
Chronological,
I didn't
like
I didn't
actual
release.
happen time.
I think isn't that the machete?
I think so.
Yeah.
I know with Star Wars there's a machete.
But yeah, no, we watch it all. No, who knows? Moving forward, let's go ahead and keep on going. We're gonna bring back an old favorite.
Ooh, what's the favorite?
We're gonna do Mary, Freak, Snap. I was waiting for you to just snap, and then I was just.
I didn't know
gonna
if you
say
wanted.
snap.
I was waiting for you to say it so I could go snap after.
I was like, what? Okay, so we have, of course, 3. We're going to do 6 of them all together. First 3 are Captain America, Iron Man, Thor. Now it's Mary, Freak, Snap. Who wants to go first?
Okay,
Jeff.
Jeff, your hand. Can you pull it from the ceiling? It's stuck up there. You shot it up real fast.
Mary, Freak, Snap. Cap,
I'm going
Iron Man,
to
Thor.
marry Cap.
Okay,
Such
sweet.
good morals and a good looks. I will freak Thor,
Okay.
and I'll just. Ooh, that was a good one. Snap away Iron Man. Sorry, bud.
It's kind of ironic, though.
I know.
Babe, what about you?
Oh, I get to go next? I am going to marry Captain America. I agree.
Thank you. Thank you.
Also, freak Thor. Mm-hmm. And then snap Iron Man away. He's annoying as fuck.
My snaps back.
In general, he's just annoying, egotistical character.
That is Tony Stark.
Yeah, I don't like him as a person.
So, mine's gonna be a little different.
Okay.
I would marry Captain America, freak Thor, snap.
No, you don't stab him. You,
Don't
snap him.
stab him.
No, I said snap, but I
It sounds
started
like you
laughing.
said- Yeah, it sounded like you said stabbed. I was like,
I'm just gonna stab him.
Jesus.
No, because
Snap him.
and for a similar reason, like I think Tony Stark and Robert Downey Jr.'s impression of him is spot on and perfect and amazing.
I agree.
But of the 3,
Yeah, going back to when you said no one could be cast perfectly except for Paul Rudd, I would actually say if you could only keep one person, you'd have to keep Robert Downey Jr. and Iron Man.
Yes.
He
Yeah.
is Iron Man. Like
He's
that's
the
him.
daddy of the whole
said
MCU.
He's Iron Man.
Yeah.
And he had all the same problems that Iron Man has, like in the comics and stuff,
Right.
in his real life.
he's just a really good method actor.
Yeah, he's Iron Man.
He's just Iron Man.
Sorry.
So,
who are the next?
Next 6. Next 3. Sorry.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man, Spider-Man. Well, it would be Spider-Man.
Wait, hold on, Jeff. You have to say why we can't do it.
I already did because he's 16 in the MCU. We should have done Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, and Andrew Garfield.
Oh, good. We'll
I
do
would've
that when we
killed-
talk about Spider-Man.
I would have snapped 2 of them away.
We'll have an entire Spider-Man.
We should.
So, next 3 are Mysterio, Loki, and would you like to say this one?
Daddy Thanos.
Yes, those are our 3. So, Daddy Thanos, Loki, and Mysterio. Babe, go.
So it would be. Marry Loki, because while his morals are a little askew, it's also easier to understand why he does things and be on the right side of that. All right, and then let's see here. Who are the other 2 choices?
Daddy Thanos and Mysterio.
Daddy Theron. Okay, so I'd snap Mysterio. I just he was a deceiving butthead all for money. Like, Loki's a deceiving butthead. Well, and also for revenge against anything having to do with Stark.
It wasn't really for money. He didn't care about the money. It was about... We'll talk about... Oh, let's get to phase 3.
Okay, and then Freak Daddy Thanos.
Alan?
I would snap Daddy Thanos.
God damn!
I don't...
Ooh, snappy.
It looked like my big toe, but purple. Sorry. Loki. Oh, I would marry... Can I marry and... Wait, okay.
Nope. You have to pick one.
Okay, so I would marry Loki because you're going to be able to freak him anyway because you're married.
That's what I'm saying.
And then...
I said that for someone back in the day, too, that we picked. I forget who it was.
You said that a lot of people. Oh, was it Frankenstein? Something like that. It had to be during our Halloween episode, though. Somebody who was dead. Never mind.
No, we all killed Bing Crosby.
That's true. We all did kill Bing Crosby.
And then we said it was okay because he was
Because he was dead, we just killed him.
So I guess I would freak Mysterio mainly because he looks like Jake Gyllenhaal.
It's crazy. It's crazy how much he looks like Jake Gyllenhaal.
That's the only reason that I would freak Mysterio is because he kind of looks like Jake Gyllenhaal. Jeff, I already know. So I'm gonna say Jeff's. This is Jeff's. Jeff is gonna freak Daddy Thanos, marry Loki, snap Mysterio.
Yes.
Yes. And I know this because he wanted us to call Thanos Daddy Thanos.
Well, that means I could marry him.
But you're marrying Loki.
Yeah, but...
But you could marry Loki and make him look like Daddy Thanos. And then freak him at the same time.
I'm done with this. Can we move on?
Yes. I'm just saying. There's a lot to think about there. Let's move on to phase 3.
The bulk of the bulk.
The bulk of the Hulk.
All right. Ready for the phase 3 movies?
Oh, jeez. There's so many.
Captain America Civil War. Doctor Strange. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Spider-Man Homecoming. Thor Ragnarok. Black Panther Avengers Infinity War. Ant-Man and the Wasp. Captain Marvel. Avengers Endgame. And Spider-Man Far From Home.
But we're all just going to
Wow.
count Spider-Man Far From Home as Phase 4 light, right?
No, it's phase 3. It's the end of phase 3. Damn it, it's the end of phase 3.
Fine.
Because WandaVision starts phase 4.
Yes, we can't talk about WandaVision yet.
So,
Yeah. Let's hear it. Let's go.
are we guessing people's favorites?
Are we guessing or
Yeah,
just out and out
I
telling?
like the guessing.
Okay, so I'll go first. Guess my favorite. Hold on, let me. I gotta pick
Thor
my favorite
Ragnarok.
first. Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, I think you're going to pick Thor Ragnarok.
Oh, I love Thor Ragnarok. Not only do I love Thor Ragnarok, I love Thor Ragnarok. Not just because Chris Hemsworth is attractive and Loki is attractive. I love Kate Blanchett. She's amazing in the movie. Thought she was fantastic. I also love Valkyrie. Thought she was amazing. Jeff Goldblum, give or take him, don't really care that much. But I'm going to go ahead and say my favorite part of the whole, favorite part of the movie, because I have another favorite part that's of the entire, phase 3, was when Hulk comes out and Thor sees him and is like, no, it's fine. We work together.
He's a friend from work.
I love it so much. I crack up at that every time.
Thor Ragnarok is what a Thor movie should have been all along.
I hope the next Thor is like it.
All the Thor movies should have been like Thor Ragnarok. And
I
that's
love
why I
Thor
don't like
Ragnarok.
Thor and Thor 2 that much, also. Because it should have been Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
The amount of energy that came out of that
Uh-huh.
movie should have been what the other ones are about.
Well, because that Thor Ragnarok, isn't that the one, isn't Jake Gyllenhaal in that? Who plays Thor and Loki in the play?
Mark Wahlberg.
And Matt Damon?
Matt Damon.
Why is Matt Damon popping into my head?
Because he's in Deadpool.
Right? Wait,
No, that's Leo
Leo DiCaprio?
is in Deadpool too.
Haven't seen that one yet.
I just love Thor Ragnarok. I thought everything about it was wonderful.
It's what a Thor
You
movie
guys,
should
you
have been.
guys did a spot on job. I'm impressed.
It's what a Thor movie should have been. you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
You go first.
What do you think?
Is it Spider-Man?
He says, there's 2 Spider-Mans.
Is it Spider-Man Homecoming?
Okay. What do you think?
It's definitely going to be something with Spider-Man. No, it's not going to be something with Spider-Man. I'm going to say Endgame.
Final answers?
Final answer for
Yes.
me.
Infinity War.
Ooh,
That's the first part of...
that's the sad one.
Okay.
It's Infinity War.
Just make sure. Okay, just make sure.
So why'd you pick Infinity War?
Because it's what everything led up to so far. Mm-hmm. And it's the first time they lose.
Yep.
And it was just... I thought going into it, Thanos would get most of the stones.
Right.
Not all of them, but most of them. When he snapped his damn fingers, my jaw hit the ground.
When people started disappearing.
No, just when he did the snap. When he did it. And he was
When
like,
he
you should have
got
gone
it?
for the head.
And then he was like, F you, Thor.
I was like, what? And then when my baby boy went away, I didn't know what to do.
Mr. Stark.
I don't feel
I
so
don't
good.
feel so well.
I didn't know what to do. My baby boy was gone.
Ooh.
But Infinity War.
That's a good choice.
Thank
That's a
you.
fair choice.
Thank you.
I'm looking up because I really want to see who played those 2 characters. So, babe, your favorite, do you want us... Yes, you want us to guess. What am I saying?
Yeah, guess.
Endgame.
Jeff, what do you think it
I
is?
feel like it'd be cheesy if I picked Guardians too, because you picked Guardians one the first time. But Ragnarok's real good too. I can see you
Ragnarok
being
is
a
real
Ragnarok fan. Hold on, let me look at the list.
I guess you're just gonna have to guess.
Let me look at the list.
Also, so far it's Luke Helmsworth was the actor Thor, and Sam Neill was actor Odin.
But Loki was played by Mark Wahlberg, I thought.
I'm trying to find it.
I think it's Matt Damon.
It might be Matt Damon.
I think
It's one of the. It's because they look exactly the same.
they're very similar.
So it's one of the. They do. They look similar.
I disagree. Mark Wahlberg and Matt Damon.
I don't know why I want to say Ragnarok so much, but I don't think it's Ragnarok.
Huh, it's Matt Damon.
Is it Matt Damon?
Yes, it is.
Cool.
You're welcome.
Because
He's uncredited, though.
it's only a brief second.
But the other 2 got credit.
Well, fuck Matt Damon. I don't know.
Even the person who played Sif got credit. Wow.
You said Endgame for him?
Endgame is what I say.
I'm gonna stick with Guardians.
So, the
Right.
reason I chose this film,
My honorary mention is Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange is good too.
the reason I chose the film that I chose is because it is the result of Infinity War being so strong. Because everyone, like, it was the bad ending in Infinity War. Endgame ended up being such a great, like, yay, I love this movie. And that's why Endgame is my favorite of Phase 3.
We also cried a bunch in that movie.
And it's not because it was a perfect film.
No.
Because, like, especially upon, like, after getting the initial shock of all the fan service, going back and rewatching it, there's a lot that they could have done. So much they could have done differently. So much they could have done better.
Left out the first hour of the movie.
I mean, that's fair.
It took so long.
It's a
But
3-hour movie.
I loved Civil War. I wish they would have made that an Avengers film, though. Because in the comics, that's the one comic that I knew a lot about. And it was such a large thing. And I mean, I know why they couldn't, because there are no X-Men. If mutants were in this thing, it would have been a Marvel Cinematic film instead of just being a Captain America movie.
The comic book Civil War is also a lot different than the movie
It's
was too.
much different.
It's much
Yeah.
larger.
There's 2 sections of it.
I think they just tagged the name on to try and get hype.
Oh, for sure. And it
It's
worked.
not.
I agree.
It's not Civil War.
No, it
No,
made
it
me
should've-
go and look at Civil War the comic and go,
It
what
was,
the fuck is this?
if I named it, I would have called it Captain America versus Iron Man.
Cap versus Man.
And
Batman versus Superman. Cap versus Iron.
Iron versus America. Iron Chef. There you go.
yes. So I liked it. Doctor Strange I loved because it was so different.
And I love Benedict Cumberbatch.
I
I
of the
love saying Benedict Cumberbatch.
Benedict Cumberbatch. Of the two Guardians, I actually prefer the first one. The second one's good because I like how serious it gets, and it has a lot of like really big punch you in the face moments. But my favorite part of that is when he turns into Pac-Man. That's my hands down favorite moment of that whole film, is when it's waka 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 boom. That's my favorite thing. And then all the other ones are really good. Thor was good. Homecoming was good. Black Panther was amazing.
I love Black Panther. So now I know you're mentioning a lot of what you like about it. Mm-hmm. And I know Phase 3 was a super duper phase. Like, soups duper. Jeff, least favorite. Do you want us to guess? Or do you want to just tell us?
You can try and guess.
I think you like all of them. You don't have a least favorite.
I think your least favorite is Captain Marvel.
I don't have a least favorite, but of them, I don't care to watch Captain Marvel. Well, no, that's not true. I'm one of the people who actually really liked it when that came out.
I did too.
Oh no. I don't care that much about Black Panther. Is that bad to say? Like, I understand. I felt like Black Panther was overhyped. There's no good way to say it. I don't know how to say it without trying to sound
You
like...
have to be honest about it. You can't just be like, oh, I don't want to... If you like it, or if you don't like it...
No, no, it's more of... I don't want to sound...
ignorant?
Insensitive. Mm-hmm. I get why everyone was so excited about Black Panther.
About blah, blah, blah?
About Black Panther, but when you watch the movie, it's just a normal superhero movie. I understand it was all black people, whatever. But I feel like that's what got the hype about it. And not the actual movie. It's a good story. Mm-hmm. It is. But there's a lot of good stories in the MCU. It's not... I don't know how to say it without sounding like a dick.
Its story is what got it nominated for an Oscar. I think.
Here.
Don't agree with you.
Let me put it this way.
You're wrong. Just kidding.
I think it does. First off, I think it deserves all of the hype it gets, and I think it was a great film, and the storytelling and everything, and the characterization and the acting was phenomenal. I think if we had not been done the disservice of being without films with a majority or almost all black cast for so long, like, this would have felt like, oh, just any other superhero movie. Because it was written like the rest of the canon, you know?
And I think that's where I'm trying to come from.
If we had had films like this, since films were being made...
Yes.
We would have been able to its impact wouldn't have been as big.
It wouldn't have been such a shock, or it wouldn't have been such a huge movie.
Yes. And I think those are the things that made it seem so much bigger than it probably is.
I see. Okay, so I see what you're saying. So I understand what you're saying in that if this was just a if this was just a normal superhero movie, it wouldn't have gotten any of the hype that it got. But because of the nationalities in the movie, it got that big of a hype. And I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think it's a mix of, if it didn't have the nationalities and it was just a normal movie, it wouldn't have got the hype it got. But I think because of the nationalities and because of the lack of representation of that nationality, especially in the superhero universe, I think that's why it got the hype it got. Is that what you're kind of trying to say?
Kind of. You're kind of hitting my point, but I don't think it... When I say normal movie, I think it's a normal superhero movie.
Okay.
And
despite them being of color and all that stuff, my point is it got more hype because of that. And I agree with you because, I mean, there'd been Blade Runner and stuff like that beforehand, so there have been black kind of superhero type movies, but it didn't get as much attention, which he's coming back, by the way.
I did hear about that. I did
Right.
hear about Wesley Snipes too, right?
Yeah, but no.
It's what
tough.
makes this film so good is not so much its place in the films, it's its impact on culture and society. Like, and I get what you're saying. If we're looking at it from a purely Marvel standpoint,
It's a movie.
It's as good as the other films. But if we're looking at it like separate, if we're taking it out of the MCU and we're looking at it across like all films,
Well, yeah.
the reason it's significant is because it's the first time one of the first times in mainstream films where it's a superhero movie with a majority black cast.
Yes, and and the reason why I feel weird saying that I don't like it because I feel like people will just attack me for it.
Right.
Because it's because of all of that stuff. Oh, well, blah 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 blah. No. That's not why I'm saying it. I'm literally saying it because I think it's just a normal superhero movie.
I just want to also point out there, I think the people who listen to us are good people, and I don't think they would think that of you at all. If we were to have someone new listen to it that didn't know what kind of people we are, they might think that. And can I also point out, it is very sad that we have to have this type of conversation.
Yes.
There should just be more representation of all people, so that way no matter
Absolutely.
what type of movie comes out, it deserves the hype it gets. Not just solely basing a hype on the fact that for once in the Marvel universe we have an entire movie of people of color.
One white dude.
One white dude. Two.
Well,
There's a few, but
a few.
only one of them is on the poster.
yes.
But you know what I mean? It's just sad that we have to have this type of conversation.
What I don't feel like I should technically have to defend myself.
You should-
Why
you
I
don't
don't
at
like
all.
why I don't I know I shouldn't say like don't like Black Panther, but why I just think it's a normal movie without having to be like it has nothing to do with them being of
You know
color.
what?
But I feel like I have to say that though.
Right. In the time that we're in,
And I'm a tan boy.
we have to.
He is.
I'm a brown boy.
Jeff is
brown.
not white.
If he ever posted pictures of himself on Instagram, we might actually see it.
You know what, though? I will say, though, that so often I've heard in argument discourse, when you're arguing with someone or when you're defending a point or when you're stating something, you're not so much trying to win people you're talking to onto your side. You're putting that voice out, that context, for other people. And by putting that context out there, by saying, this is why I dislike the film, or this is why it wasn't necessarily my favorite, was because of these actual reasons and not because of this, for so many people who maybe don't think about it consciously, they can come at it that way. They can be like, well, do I actually like the film, or do I actually not like the film, or is it because of this other thing? And they can kind of tackle those questions in their own head.
And again, I'm really sorry that we have to. You feel like you have to justify it. I mean, Larry and I are two white gay men.
You're pasty.
I mean, we are super pasty.
He's
I'm
not-
so
you're
pasty, right? I'm
He's not
pasty.
that big. He's pretty.
I'm
colored.
so pasty.
The most color on my skin is because of my tattoos. I am
Yes.
very white.
You are, but you get more. you get a little more sunlight than some
I
people
don't
in
get
the
very
room.
much sunlight, but
Patrick's pasty.
oh, he's so pasty. He needs to get out into the
You're
sun.
pasty like him too.
but I
You have color because you have tattoos.
That's true. I feel bad that we have to justify it, and we feel that we have to justify, but I think people understand who listen to our podcast where we're coming from. Like, we have no reason for us to be anyway but what we are, and we're not going to pretend. Jeff's not going to pretend he likes Black Panther, just like I'm not going to pretend that Woody was selfish. Okay, so can we just... Babe, don't tell me I'm wrong. So, least favorite... Oh, wait, who haven't we guessed?
Both of you. I have one more that I really. I have mixed feelings about Endgame. That's all I'll say.
All right. Well, I cried a lot, so...
That's fair.
You're wrong.
It's just. I felt like Infinity War made so much hype. And then Endgame took so long
I didn't like the first part of it.
get to the fucking point. And I feel like time travel is a cop out. That's my story. That's my PSA.
I wish they would have time traveled in Lord of the Rings. That would have made that...
Or Road the Damn Eagles.
All right, so
We
there's
would've
lots
missed
of
2
reasons
whole
that
fucking
none of that
movies.
could have happened. But I'm glad you brought up Lord of the Rings
No, no,
again.
no, 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 no,
because
no,
there
please
are
no,
3
please
more
no,
actors
please
in
no,
Phase
no,
3
please
who are
no.
of Lord of the Rings fame.
Please
No, we'll talk about that later.
Oh wait, you're talking about Marvel?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. No, Kate Blanchett
Yes.
was Galadriel.
Yes.
Is that the elf?
She's the elf lady
Yes.
who's like, oh, don't tempt
And
me
then-
with the ring.
and then the
in
guy
first,
from-
in Fellowship.
Black Panther was Bilbo Baggins.
Yeah, he was Bilbo Baggins in The Hobbit, the white dude.
Yes.
And then The guy who likes to
also-
pretend he's also big and badass. Wait, was he? Yeah, the guy who he was like where he became Hell's underling.
Yes.
in
He,
Ragnarok.
Yeah.
he was Aylmer in Lord of the Rings as well.
Bilbo's
So,
also in
There
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy
and Love
That's
Actually.
not a Marvel movie.
and Sherlock.
That's not a Marvel.
Neither is The Hobbit.
I didn't bring it up.
Anyway,
Well, you brought up Lord of the Rings. That's
who
on
would
you.
like us to guess them next?
Me, least favorite. Oh, crap, I gotta remember all of them.
Is it Ant-Man and Wasp?
That's the first thing that came to my head too for him.
Is that where you're going with?
Yeah.
Wrong. Both of you are wrong.
What
You
is
want
it?
to guess again?
Civil
I
War?
don't really care for for
Captain Marvel?
For Captain Marvel.
I remember you saying that.
I like what she's representing in the movie. I like her being like super girl power, that kind of thing. I like what she represents in the Marvel universe as far as like girl power. I do not like Brie Larson.
That's what I was gonna say.
I think she's terrible. I think she's cocky. And I think every single person that's in the Marvel universe that has posted things or things like that about her and how terrible she is to be around is 100% true. She just looks like a cocky bitch.
In her defense, that is Captain Marvel. She's like that in the comics.
Yeah, like I get that, but
No, I agree with you.
it's like art imitating life. No.
She does look like Captain Marvel, though. She does look like Carol Danvers.
I just don't like her. Least favorite movie. Sorry about it.
That's fair. That's fair.
Ooh, I don't know. Your least favorite movie is Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
In Phase 3?
Isn't that in phase
Yeah, it
three?
is in phase.
No, I'm saying out. I'm like thinking.
I was
I'm
like-
thinking. In
like,
Phase
wait a
3,
second.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
After much internal debate,
He means the last 5 seconds.
yes, I would have to say you're both wrong. You are wrong, and I'm here to tell you why. It was Civil
Okay,
War.
Roxy Andrews.
It was who?
Civil War.
I thought you said Thor for a second. I was like, get the fuck out
I
of
was like,
here.
that's such a great movie.
And honestly, it's only because I had in my head a very different picture of what Civil War was going to be. Like when they're like, "Oh, here's what it is," and then they're like the last fight scene where it's the fight in the hangar, and then it was the two fighting each other. Like those were strong moments, but they're like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna release super soldiers in the world," and then they like nothing happened because of that.
I
Hi,
think,
Captain.
Yeah, I think the real problem with Civil War though is there's so many different storylines going on at the same time, and none of them work with each other.
Right,
No.
because it's not like Avengers where you can do all of it together. It was they were trying to make it a Captain America film and have a lot of other supporting characters.
Yeah, and they have what the fuck's his name?
Spider-Man?
No, the bad guy. Zero. Baron Zemo.
Can't even remember who he was.
He's the one who wants to release the super soldiers.
Are the
right,
super
and
soldiers
that's
the
exactly
Sentinels
it.
from X-Men?
No,
They are essentially it's all of Hydra's experiments to make
No,
Captain
I mean,
America
I don't know why I'm picturing the Sentinels being
tall and
the
purple.
same ones from X-Men that they were releasing. I don't know why.
Oh no,
it was in the bunker, the snow bunker, when they go in there and there's all the test tubes. And Zemo's behind that gate, and he's like, "Oh, the Winter Soldier killed your mom." And then I almost said Batman. And then Iron Man's like, "What?" Ah! And then that's why they started fighting. Those are the tubes in there. Those are the super soldiers that Zemo was trying to find the whole time by trying to reactivate Bucky to try and get him to tell him the information about it. No? Well,
he's forgettable.
Sorry.
I felt like every interaction that led up to that film and during that film was so concocted. It was, they're like, "Oh, we want to control it," and Iron Man's like, "Yeah, man, we really ought to be reined in."
It wasn't a believable episode.
The only believable bit was Captain America being like, "No, guys, you're really stupid. Why would we ever agree to this?" And then they're like, "Wait, you're right, Cap." That was the only, like... So, it didn't live up to what Civil War should have been.
True.
now for our favorite moments in
Can I go first?
Phase 3.
Can I go first? Can I
Sure.
go first? When all the women came through the portals. You know, all the superhero women in Endgame, they all came through the portals.
Not all of them.
Well, I mean, the ones that came out of it.
The ones who were still alive. Because Black Widow was not there.
But just the sight of, I was like,
I was just about to be like, Jeff, what are you? Were half of them held back?
No, Black Widow was dead.
Black Widow's not my favorite. But I cried.
That scene makes me annoyed because she brought women superheroes into the MCU.
And they
She
didn't have
was
her in it.
literally tossed aside.
They brought Gamora back. They could have gone back and gotten a past version of Black Widow and thrown her in there.
Yeah.
If they don't do that in the
But
Black
that
Widow
is,
film, I'll
it's
be
my
mad.
favorite for, I mean, it may be, you may not like it, but I happen to
I didn't say I
enjoy
didn't like
it.
it. I said it annoyed me.
It made me cry because, and this is future me, but it made me cry because I was like, one day our daughter is going to watch this movie and she's going to see all these girl superheroes coming out of the things. I was just like, oh my God, she's going to be so empowered and she's going to be president. And then I get to be the president's daddy.
I like that, babe.
That's literally, babe, I told you that right after we saw it.
I know.
That's
I know you
word
did.
for word what happened, and I was like, "That's what I want." But that's why I got so emotional about that part. But that is my favorite moment from Phase 3.
Would you like to go or do you want me to go?
You should go, and then I'll formulate what my favorite moment was.
I have 3. So I'm Larry. Whoa. So my favorite moment is the snap.
Which one?
The snap.
Oh, Thanos' snap.
Because it was unexpected. I didn't expect him to get all the stones and win.
I was like, isn't that? But
That's what his goal was. But the villains in all the Marvel movies never make it to the end. And this
for
bitch,
Thanos.
has been losing Infinity Stones left and fucking right. He had the Power Stone, he had the Mind Stone, and he had the Space Stone at one part. And he lost all 3. But then this bitch just fucking storms through the MCU in one movie, collects 6 fucking stones, and destroys half the universe.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Actually, that's probably my second favorite one. My favorite one is in Endgame. When Cap picks up
Mjolnir?
When he fucking picks up that hammer and fucking swings it, and then after the little fight finally says Avengers Assemble. Whew, that was a moment.
I did. Like
That was a fucking moment.
That
I
was a
loved
great
Thor's
moment.
axe too,
That was a good weapon.
That was a fucking moment.
because he almost did it in first one, the Avengers,
Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron,
He like
where he
makes
tried
a
to pick
twitch.
it up.
Yeah, and then Thor's like, huh! And he doesn't do it, and he's like, I knew it. And then my third one would be when in Far From Home, when Fury's talking to Fury.
I thought you
air
were going to
quotes.
say whenever he takes off his shirt, but anyway.
He only takes it off once in that movie. It's when he's changing into his suit. Anyway, oh no, he takes off twice. When Fury's talking to him when they're inside the basement, and Spider-Man's like, "Oh no, I'm a friendly neighbor to Spider-Man," and he goes, "Bitch, you've been to space." I died when he said that. I thought that was hilarious.
No, I agree. No, those are good. I'm surprised you have 3.
Babe, did you want to add on to any of your favorite moments? Because I probably also have 3.
No, I'm okay with just one.
I also have a really my most powerful moment, but I'll let you go first
So
to see if you mention it.
He's going to let you finish it.
I'll let me finish.
when
But I have a powerful moment.
I will just quickly go through mine. When Cap beats Iron Man, but like it looks like he's about to like just finish him, and he doesn't, and he leaves the shield because Stark's like, "No, that doesn't belong to you," and he's like, "Fine, F you. Like this is how mad I am. I'm leaving the fucking shield." And then so I like that moment. And then in Thor Ragnarok, when she was like, "What are you the god of?" When she's about to just like, after she's already poked out his eye and he's just like getting his butt kicked, and then he just summons lightning without Mjolnir, just summons lightning and starts being cool again.
My favorite part in Thor Ragnarok is when they're like, that you just hear that song, the song that was like literally everywhere. It's like, you know what I'm talking about?
Down in the ice
Yeah.
and snow.
But it's the beginning of it, and it's just her walking down, and she's like all badass, and then she brushes her hair, and it becomes like the thing.
You know what's funny is
She's
that
so good.
that song is about Vikings and
Stuff. Yeah.
it is. It's super cool. And then I thought I had a third one.
Uh-oh. Jeff. Your powerful moment.
It's gonna sound cheesy.
Yeah.
It probably is.
It's after Iron Man snaps, and he's dying, and Pepper comes up to him, and says, "It's okay, we'll be fine." It's the last thing I said to my dad. And that's it.
Oh,
Stop it.
thank you for sharing that.
It's the only time in the MCU I cried. Besides when Spider-Man died. But anyway, it was a very powerful moment in the movie theater. And I was like,
Especially because it's not like you can be pre-warned about something like that.
right,
About having a moment like that in film.
right.
And yeah, well, and who would have thought that at one point one could say that superhero movies would have that kind of an impact on someone? You know?
Superhero movies have no business making us cry. No business. Jeff, I hate you right now, and I'm really glad you shared that.
I almost cried.
I saw
And I don't use emotions. I don't show crying.
His eyes are red. He has not been smoking.
They have no business making us cry. I'm really glad they do. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You're okay. You're allowed to have emotions. You're the emotion part of the podcast.
I know, but you just made me cry, and I'm so sorry, and I'm just...
I almost couldn't say it.
I appreciate that you did.
But that's the powerful moment. I think that's probably the most powerful moment in the entire MCU. In my opinion. Because it means so much, too, because... I mean, Iron Man's been there from the beginning.
Yeah.
And he's done so much in the MCU. And you can see him struggling, even in those last moments. And she's just like, it's okay. It's fine. They'll be okay. And then he has a fucking recording, and he goes, I love you 3000. God damn it.
I think when Iron Man died, it took a little piece of the whole MCU. Like, yes, he's going to come back in whatever form in other movies. Fine, whatever.
He's in Black Widow. Because Black Widow takes place after Age of Ultron. It's somewhere near Age of Ultron. I think it's I think it's in between Age of Ultron and Civil War.
And they can only give her a fucking blast from the past movie?
It should have been in Phase 2.
Fuck's sake.
It should have been in Phase 2.
They should have made it when...
I'm for a Black Widow movie. I'm all for it. But it should have been in Phase 2.
Oh, for sure.
They did not appreciate. There, honestly, Ant-Man and Wasp, whatever. They should have done a Black Widow and Hawkeye movie.
Yeah. Well, my biggest problem with the Black Widow movie is it takes away from her death.
Yeah.
She sacrificed herself for the universe.
I mean, as did Tony Stark, but
But he got all the glory.
He
though.
chose to do that, though.
yeah.
She had to do it.
No, technically it was her choice.
Yes, but she did it for Hawkeye because of his family. She wanted to save everybody. She felt responsible for what happened.
Right.
Yeah, no, I get that.
And then she missed out on the big moment.
They really need to bring her back. If they don't bring her back, I will be mad. It's the
They
Marvel
can
Cinematic
do it.
Universe.
It's not hard.
I don't. The only reason why I think they won't is because they made it such a point that they tried to snap her back, but they couldn't.
I bet there's a snap loophole.
Yeah, it's time travel, just like fucking Gloire.
Exactly.
Because she didn't get snapped away. See, that was the big thing, though. She didn't get snapped. That's probably why he was like, I couldn't do it, because she didn't get snapped.
No, she didn't.
But anyway,
Wow.
um,
Phase 3.
I think it's time.
Oh God, what's the time for?
A little husband royale.
Oh.
This is a long episode, guys,
Civil War.
but I think you can hang in for one more thing with us.
Hopefully.
A little husband royale. So, I don't know how hard this is going to be.
I don't know.
It's quotes from different characters.
Okay.
I don't need the movie.
Thank God.
I just want the character who said it.
Okay.
I don't want the actor or the actress. I want the superhero / villain. It could be either.
Okay.
Honest to God, I don't know how hard this is going to be. I didn't try and pick crazy quotes because I could have gone crazy. I tried to pick quotes that you would probably know or something that might make you think of the character. Does that make sense?
No, I gotcha.
So, can someone give me one of their pencils?
Yeah, I've got one.
I have a pen.
I'm just going to toss it right at your head.
So, Larry is the reigning champion
Yes.
again. But, I have 20 questions. So, I'm thinking this time around, and from now on, we're just going to go through all the questions, and whoever has the most points at the end wins.
Unless it comes back and I'm just gonna lose.
No, I think that gives you less stress.
Unless you're at 15 questions and I don't have enough.
Yes, and then you automatically lose. If you're less than 5, then the person loses. But, okay. So, do you guys want me to finish full quotes before you ring in this time?
I think it's whatever we think.
As soon as you know it, just go for
Yeah.
it.
If we buzz it, it's just, all right, what's the answer?
And if you buzz it, but I finish the quote while the buzzer is going off, I am not repeating myself.
Oh.
Because someone kept asking me to repeat themselves last time. So you got to listen, okay?
All
Okay.
right, let's do it.
This one's easy. Part of the journey is the end.
Was it Cap?
Wrong.
Iron Man. Iron Man.
Yes.
Good job, babe.
He says it in his recording to Pepper when he's on the ship. It's actually in the trailer as well.
Oh, wow.
Ready?
Yes.
The hardest choices require the strongest wills. Larry.
Thanos.
Yep.
That's when he's all being high and mighty about having to be the decider of the universe. So I
I would-
didn't take any economic classes.
I would rather be a good man than a great king. Alan.
That's Black Panther. T'Challa.
Wrong.
Oh, no, that was his father.
Wrong. Time's up. Thor.
Oh, just sounds like
Yeah,
something.
no, I had
I believe
Black Panther in my head.
it's from Ragnarok.
It just sounds like something Black Panther would say, though.
I think it's because in that he says it's hard for a good man to be a good king. Because his father says that to him because he's a good man.
A thing isn't beautiful because it lasts. It's a privilege to be among them. Alan?
T'Challa's dad.
Really on this T'Challa thing.
It was the agent guy. Coulson.
No,
Vision.
it
It was Vision.
Dang it. I was picturing him
I
saying
believe
that.
he says it to Wanda.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Teach me. Alan?
Spider-Man.
Nope.
Black Widow.
Doctor Strange.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's one of his most iconic lines in the movie.
Teach me.
I have nothing to prove to you. Larry.
Captain Marvel.
Yep.
Because that's when he's like, come down to my level so I can win. And she's like, no, I'm a superhero, you idiot.
I can do this all day. Larry.
Cap.
Yep. I can't control their fear, only my own. Anyone? Don't even want to try and guess?
I can't control their fear, only my own.
Was it Agent Coulson?
Wrong. Do you want to guess? I'll let you have one.
Red Skull.
Wanda. She's all about fear.
Wow, this is bad.
Just because something works doesn't mean it can't be improved. Larry?
Iron Man.
Nope. Alan?
Just because something works doesn't mean it can't be improved. Cap.
Shuri. This one's so easy. I don't want to go. Alan.
That's Spider-Man
Yes.
or the 10th Doctor.
This one might be hard. But I've mentioned this character tonight.
Oh God.
Does he need CPR? Because I totally know CPR. Alan.
That is Jane's assistant.
Correct. I don't need her name because you probably don't know her name. Do you know her
Darby?
name? What?
Darby?
Close. It starts with a D.
Darcy.
Yes. But I'm gonna give it to Alan. Because
Good
you
job.
knew who the character was. I'll
Yeah,
give you that.
I can literally picture.
That's why I was
saying it.
like, this one's probably the hardest
I can
one.
picture going. I know CPR. I totally know
This one
CPR.
is easy.
Oh God.
That's my secret, Captain. Alan?
That's my seat. Iron Man.
Larry?
Bruce Banner as the Hulk.
That's my secret, Captain. I'm always angry.
I knew that one.
I understand the council has made a decision, but given that it's a stupid ass decision, I've elected to ignore it.
Nick Fury.
Yes.
Stupid ass.
Oh my god, that was really violent.
Ant-Man.
Wrong.
Oh my God, that was really violent.
Alan?
Star-Lord?
Pepper Potts after she blows up the bad guy in Iron Man 3.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
I can feel the righteousness surging. Hey, want to have a rousing discussion about truth, honor, patriotism? God bless America.
Iron Man.
Nope. You're gonna hate yourself.
Loki. Loki.
Yes, he's on your shirt.
Good job.
That you got
Oh
me.
yeah, because he was impersonating Cap.
I do what he does, just slower.
Falcon.
Yes. Technically, the answer I was looking for was Sam, but I'll take that. Same person. Nothing goes over my head. My reflexes are too fast.
Drax. Drax?
But I don't think you're gonna win this one.
The
You can still win.
Destroyer.
Yeah, it's Drax. You can. Let's see. You need to get the next 3 correct.
Oh God, that's a lot of pressure.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
That's the blue guy.
Do you know his name?
All I can think of is Hondo.
Close. It's so close. You're so close.
Hondo.
Put a Y in front of
Mondo.
it.
Mondo.
Put a Y in front of it.
Hondi.
Yondu.
Yondu.
There you go. All right.
God.
You got to get the next one.
Oh God.
Hey, Auntie.
Spider-Man.
False.
T'Challa. No. That's not Black Panther. It's in Black Panther. It's Suri. No. It's Toothmonger.
What's his name? You're
His
so
name,
close.
his monger.
Killmonger.
Killmonger.
I'll give it to you though, because we'll give it to him.
That's
He brain went through it.
you went there. You went there.
Yeah,
And I
it's-
approciate the process.
He says it when he comes into the chamber when he
Hey,
decides
Auntie.
that
Yeah,
he's
I can picture. I just can't. I was like, wait a second. I
and
thought
she's like,
Okay.
jeez.
If you get this, it's tied, and I don't know what to do because this is the last question.
Oh God.
What master do I serve?
Star-Lord.
Is it the Lotus?
You hit it at the same time. So, I have Larry's answer.
Okay.
What is your final? If you tie and you get the correct answer, I'll find another quote.
It's the Lotus, not Lotus.
If you get the right answer and you tie, I'll find another quote.
Star-Lord?
Okay, good. Okay.
Because the full is, what master do I serve? What am I supposed to say? Jesus?
Yes, that's the quote.
Oh, see, I thought I was picturing.
That's the quote.
I got it wrong. I'm just gonna.
This is it. This is the winning one.
Oh God.
This is the winning one. I'll do it myself. Larry?
Thanos?
Yes.
From the
When he picks up the Infinity Gauntlet at the end of Avengers and he says, fine, I'll do it myself.
Because Loki fails, and he's like...
that's the extended credits, right? We love extended credits.
Yes.
We do
but-
love extended credits.
You did...
So bad.
Well, you both did bad. You both did bad.
Yeah,
Let's be
we
real.
did.
You both did bad, but you were very close at the end. You did come back. You were almost a comeback kid. You did get the last one wrong, but I kind of gave it to you.
I know.
And you also got the Black Panther one wrong, too.
I know, but I worked my way into
Those
it.
were a little hard.
The two-letter ones, I was like, what?
Having not... to be fair, we were on an even playing ground, but neither one of us had seen any of those films since we watched them during
I'm not great with quotes. You talk about people, I can probably figure it out, but I'm not great at
I probably would have struggled with a couple of those, too. I would have had to think about it, but when I hear them in my head, like especially the Pepper one, I can see the scene.
God, that was violent.
That's when she's walking up to him and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
like
after the
after she
explosion.
did it.
Yeah, and she lands and the explosion behind her and all that stuff. You don't remember that, do you?
I do. He was asleep.
I fall asleep at random points.
I can think of the scenes when I'm seeing them. That's why I asked if you wanted me to do a full quote before.
I know, but we're anxious.
But well, guys, it's been a lovely hour and 36 minutes with y'all.
Oh my goodness.
So almost as long as a Marvel film.
Yeah. You almost did a feature length film with us.
Oh goodness.
But well, no, Marvel films are like 2.5 hours, 2 hours.
See,
So
we almost did.
Our Marvel film.
we can talk for 40 more minutes. No, I'm kidding. But thank you so much for hanging out with us, guys. If you want us to do any other Marvel type stuff, we'll, of course, when Phase 4 starts coming out, we will start talking about Phase 4 stuff. We do
Right.
know WandaVision is currently in its run. 4
And
episodes.
It's very good.
5 episodes are out by now.
We're one behind, but yeah.
Yes. And there's one that doesn't technically exist yet, but it will exist by the time this episode comes
Time
out.
travel.
But if you guys want us to do a review of WandaVision after it's all over and where we think things are going to go in the MCU, let us know. The Eternals should come out next month because that's the first big movie that comes out. Black Widow's still up in the air. And then Shang-Chi, or whatever his name is, and the 10 Rings, which is the one with the Mandarin in it. That's the one I was referring to. Because he's the one with the 10 rings. Because he has the rings, does different powers. That's supposed to come out in July. And then Spider-Man 3 is supposed to come out in December.
Yay.
Those are the next thing. And Falcon and the Winter Soldier comes out as soon as WandaVision ends. It comes out a week or two after.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
we're definitely game to do all of that. You guys just let us know.
And you can let us know by emailing us at Giggles and Gays. You can Instagram us. I'm switching it up.
At Giggles and Gays.
So I guess it's not as easy as Larry
No.
makes it look. Larry, where can we tweet us at?
At Giggles and Gays on Twitter.
And wherever podcasts are found, you can listen to us. And if you guys are listening to us on some super random app, just let us know. We like knowing where we show up all of a sudden. Make sure you guys share it to your friends. If you have a lot of Marvel friends, let them know. If you have DC friends,
Don't tell them about it.
don't tell them about next week.
No.
I don't know how next week is going to go, but
It'll
Probably dark.
I am.
you'll have to turn the lights up to watch it.
We're going to record it in the dark.
Maybe we should do not just the DC EU and DC films in general.
We should just not do it at all.
Oh, that's awkward. We have to be nice to both. We probably will not have a husband royale in there because I don't think we succeed.
Not unless you... No, definitely not.
Hey guys, how do you like my DC Superman impression?
I'm Batman.
I thought that was Batman.
I know it was a joke because everything's grimdark with DC.
I'm Batman. Rachel.
I am the Knight.
Oh my gosh.
Rachel.
Well, everybody, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. This has been Giggles and Gays. I'm Alan.
I'm Larry.
I'm Batman. And you guys keep calm and giggle on.
Coming soon to the MCU near you. So, what do we think's gonna happen in the MCU?
I don't know.
I think Galactus is going to be the next bad guy.
I have heard
Galactus
that
or Doctor
Galactus-
Doom. Because they're bringing Fantastic Four in.
I hope it's Doctor Doom because he seems very threatening.
I don't like Doctor Doom as a bad. He's used so much.
Oh,
But Doctor Doom is a normal bad in the comic books for the Avengers.
Yes, and I think the reason you'd make Doom's weird because you can't kill Doom. Well, you shouldn't kill any of them, but but you know
They find a way.
the way movies happen. Because like Thanos will probably find a way back. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think he could in a third jump of the MCU.
Yeah.
I think it's too soon to bring him back.
Oh yeah, it's definitely too soon.
I think
But
it's too soon to even hint that he could come back.
I think Galactus would be the next logical bad guy if they're trying to bring everything in with a multiverse.
Right, with like
which
the
they
X-Men
probably that's
and
what
stuff.
it looks like.
Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. They already
I'm
confirmed.
so excited
And apparently
for that.
Spider-Man 3 is supposed to have all 3 Spider-Mans.
That was
Please
the
don't
that
make
was
me
the
roll
thing.
my head eyes any further back in my head. I'm just tired of so many fucking Spider-Mans.
Well, the Spider-Verse is big.
I know the Spider-Verse is big.
I hope they bring in Miles. I really want to see a Miles Morales in the MCU.
I think what I would want to see in a Spider-Verse MCU canon film would be, sure, bring the other 2 Spider-Mans, show that a little bit, have the Green Goblin from the first and all the rest. But at the end, I only want, I want everyone to return to their respective multiverse, except for our Peter Parker and Miles Morales.
Doc Ock is coming.
Who is being played by the original Doc Ock from
I
the
am
movies.
so excited because Spider-Man 2 is a great movie.
Yes, it was.
It was
Doc
good.
Ock was fantastic in that movie.
Yes, Alfred Molina.
Yes.
Molina,
Molina, I think.
Molina.
He's really good, though.
He can be on the show anytime he wants. Please come talk about Spider-Man to us.
What else? But what other bad could it be besides Galactus or Doctor Doom?
There's a lot it could be, but Galactus is the biggest threat that I can think of. Because then you can bring Silver Surfer in, which can bring the Fantastic Four in, which can bring Doctor Doom in, which can bring Galactus in.
Well, doesn't Doctor Doom had his own group of bad guys? I think there's an evil group with him in it.
There's a Sinister Six, but that's Spider-Man bad guys.
That's Spider-Man.
Which I would
Marvel's
still love to
weird
see.
because it's not like DC that has the League of Villains. So there's not real. There probably is. Doctor Doom
Right.
they probably got together at one point, and we're like, fuck
And
you
worked
guys.
together for yeah.
But I don't think there's an overarching like DC always mentions it's not called the League of Villains, but whatever it's called, the bad guy, the villains group with Lex and Joker and all of them.
Uh-huh.
But I can't really think in Marvel how often they mention a group of bad guys getting together and fucking shit up besides Sinister Six.
Because I know that there is a comic book with all the Avengers and Doctor Doom, and it also has Galactus in it, where they all get transported to this.
You're thinking of
You let me
Secret
read it.
War. No, it was acted.
Exactly.
It was Secret War. You're thinking Secret War.
Secret
That's
War.
something different. That's the guy, the Beyonder, who could also be the villain. The Beyonder separated them between heroes and villains. He did that himself.
That's what I'm talking. That's what I'm thinking about. That.
Yeah, that's what you're thinking about.
Yeah.
So I just had a thought. Because they're expanding where we're getting to witness a lot of the MCU stuff. Like when they did Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., that was wow, it's the first MCU TV show. Now, most of them are TV shows with what we've got right now. They're doing a what if. And in the what ifs, they have clearly shown the Marvel Zombies universe. I don't think that's going to be huge in the MCU, but I do think it's going to be a big-ass threat in that one.
Right. I also think that the whole what if thing is a great way to play out just any kid's fantasy of
for
what
sure.
they are,
Yeah. There's a lot of things, a lot of ways it can go, because the Infinity Stones are still out there.
Uh-huh.
So
Because they can't be destroyed, right?
No, they can't. Thanos destroyed them.
Yes.
Yeah, but they went back in the past when they existed.
And then
in
they
the
put them back where they are. So technically, they would.
Someone could just go in and get them again.
Yeah, they're not. I guess they're not around because technically they are destroyed. Still, because he technically, canonically, destroyed them. Because
Yeah.
he's dead and he's snapped away.
Yeah.
But no, it doesn't matter that they snapped him from the past version of him because it created a different timeline.
created the split.
Anyway, I think it's Galactus.
I think that something is going to happen, and since we're watching WandaVision, Wanda is one of the most powerful MCU characters.
I think she's the bad guy in Doctor Strange.
I think bad guy through circumstance.
Because this WandaVision and Spider-Man 3 both lead into Doctor Strange.
Also, this is not the first time Wanda has been bad or been made bad. Even in the comic book, she's made bad multiple times.
And she started off being an antagonist.
Yes. In the MCU, she did.
I think a
wouldn't
lot
be
of
so
people
hard to
think
push
this
her.
right now too, and WandaVision's not over, and we haven't seen what episode 5 is going to bring. But a lot of people think it's going to be the way that they're going to try and bring the mutants into the MCU.
I
think
would
that
love
be
that. I
And
love
then-
having mutants.
Say that she's a mutant, but she was kicked out of that dimension into ours, into our
The MCU universe we're watching.
multiverse, into our version of the multiverse, but her powers locked away. And then when Hydra was experimenting on her and her brother with the Mind Stone, that's what unlocked the powers again. So it's not that she got powers from it; it's
She
that
had
she's a
them.
mutant
And ooh.
because she's technically Magneto's
Daughter. Yeah. I knew that. Oh,
I
who's playing? Somebody really good is playing Magneto. Viggo Mortensen, I think, is going to play
What?
Magneto.
So first we had Gandalf,
I
and now we're
said
gonna
it,
have
didn't I?
Aragorn. Babe, this is the Lord of the Rings extended universe, and I am living in it.
Oh my! Well, friends, this has been our
Special
after
after
the
credits.
Yeah, post credits. You know, Marvel movies have 2, so stay tuned for a little later.
Have another one. See you tomorrow. Oh well.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.